My sister put my oceanfront home on the market for $2.3 million. My real estate lawyer showed up at the open house the Saturday before everything fell apart. I was in my city center office, wrapping up end-of-quarter financials, when my phone lit up with a message in the family group chat. My sister Rachel had dropped a link. Already getting offers, this is moving so quickly, I tapped it. There was my oceanfront home, listed at $2.3 million. Stunning professional photos. A full virtual tour. Open house set for Sunday, February 5th, 2:05 p.m. I own that house free and clear. I'd purchased it 8 years earlier for $890,000, funded entirely by my consulting business. Rachel knew that. The whole family knew. The title was solely in my name. Property taxes were drawn from my account every year. The homeowner's insurance named me as the only insured owner. I called her right away. "Oh, you saw it." Her tone was light and upbeat. "Don't stress, I'm taking care of everything. You're always buried in work, so I thought I'd help you cash in on some equity. The market is on fire right now. Rachel, you cannot sell my house. Technically, it's our house. Dad said when he contributed to the down payment, it became family property. I'm just making the sale happen. We'll divide it 6 ways, you, me, Mom, Dad, Brandon, and Kira. Roughly $380,000 each after fees. You're welcome." My father had never contributed to the down payment. He'd offered a $50,000 loan at 8% interest. I turned it down and went with a standard bank mortgage. "I have the deed, Rachel. It's only in my name. This is fraud." She laughed, genuinely amused. "God, you're so dramatic. It's just real estate. I'm doing you a solid. That house is way too big for one person anyway. Stop making this difficult." She ended the call. I stared at my screen for 3 minutes as the listing updated in real time. 21 offers already. The asking price had climbed to $2.4 million. "Motivated seller," the description now read. "Bring your highest and best." I immediately phoned David Cho, my real estate attorney. We'd worked together on the original purchase and on 2 downtown rental properties I later acquired. He picked up quickly. "I need you to see something." I forwarded the listing link. Silence for 8 full seconds. "Claire, this is your Shoreline Drive residence." "Yes, you did not authorize this listing." "No, your sister is the listing agent." "Yes," more silence. "Then, I'll be at the open house tomorrow at 2 p.m. Do not contact your sister. Do not post anything publicly. Save every message she sends, but do not reply. I'm contacting the title company now." That night, the family chat blew up. My mother gushing about how proud she was of Rachel for finally convincing me to do the right thing. My father saying it was about time the property started helping the entire family. My brother Brandon announcing he already had his eye on a boat for his share. Not a single person asked whether I had agreed to any of it. I barely slept. I kept replaying the day I closed on the house, walking through the empty rooms, measuring for curtains, imagining where everything would go. The sweeping ocean view from the primary bedroom. The little deck where I drank coffee every morning and watched the waves. It wasn't just a house. It was the first major thing I had built completely on my own. Rachel had been livid when I bought it. "You're being selfish," she'd said. "That money could have helped all of us." She'd wanted me to fund her condo flip project instead, the one that went bust 6 months later. Sunday morning, I drove by the property. Rachel's high-end SUV was already parked out front. A staging crew had been hired. Through the windows, I could see my furniture rearranged, new decorative items added, different artwork on the walls. A photographer was setting up lighting. A massive sign stood in the yard. Rachel Morrison, Luxury Properties. Open house today 2:05 p.m. I parked 3 blocks away and waited. At 1:55 p.m., David arrived in his Mercedes, carrying a leather briefcase. He wore his courtroom suit. I watched him stride up the walkway and step inside. At 2:03 my phone began ringing non-stop. I let it go to voicemail. At 2:07 3 police cars arrived. I pulled closer and parked across the street. A crowd had formed on the sidewalk, displaced buyers, curious neighbors, dog walkers filming on their phones. David stood on the porch with 2 officers. Rachel was beside him, face drained of color, hands waving frantically. I caught snippets of her voice. "Misunderstanding, family property," she agreed. I walked up the path. One officer turned to me. "Are you Claire Morrison?" Yes, you're the recorded owner. The deed is in my name only. I purchased this home in 2017. I have never authorized anyone to list it for sale. David opened his briefcase and handed over documents. Recorded deed from the county. 8 years of property tax payments in Claire Morrison's name. Homeowner's insurance policy listing Claire Morrison as sole insured. The officer turned to Rachel. You listed this property for sale without the owner's permission. She's my sister. This is a family issue, not. Ma'am, this is fraud. Real estate fraud. You've accepted offers on property you do not own, executed contracts you had no authority to sign, and held an open house under false pretenses. Inside, buyers were gathering their belongings, murmuring. One couple spoke to another officer, showing their phones, likely the offer they'd submitted. My parents' car screeched to the curb. They leapt out, my father already shouting. What the hell is going on? Rachel said Claire was making trouble. David stepped forward. Mr. and Mrs. Morrison, I'm David Cho, Claire's real estate counsel. Your daughter Rachel has committed real estate fraud by listing property she does not own. Police are investigating. My mother stared at me. You called the police on your own sister. Over a house? She attempted to sell my home without permission, Mom. She forged documents. She collected offers from buyers. This isn't a disagreement, it's a crime. My father turned to Rachel. You told us Claire was on board. You said my down payment made it family property. Rachel's eyes welled up. I assumed we're family, it should benefit everyone. I purchased this house myself, I said quietly. Dad offered a loan at 8% interest. I declined. I obtained conventional financing. I've paid every mortgage payment, every tax bill, every insurance premium for 8 years. You all knew that. An officer was on his radio. Another took statements from buyers inside. A third reviewed David's documents. The lead officer addressed Rachel. Miss Morrison, you'll need to come downtown for questioning. You have the right to remain silent. My mother's voice cracked. You're arresting her. Claire, tell them it's a misunderstanding. It's not, David said coolly. Your daughter listed a $2.3 million property she does not own. She signed listing agreements, accepted offers, scheduled inspections. This constitutes real estate fraud, identity theft, and forgery. The title company has filed a formal complaint. Defrauded buyers are considering civil action. My father asked, how many offers? 27, the officer replied, checking notes. Several with earnest money deposits. Where's that money? My father demanded. Rachel stayed silent, tears streaming. David answered. Earnest money went into escrow. When ownership couldn't be verified, the title company froze the account and notified authorities. Buyers will recover deposits, but they can seek damages. Inspection fees, appraisals, legal costs, lost opportunities, emotional distress. Potentially $300,000 to $500,000 in civil exposure, separate from criminal charges. The figure visibly staggered them. My brother Brandon arrived, bewildered. Why are there cops? I thought we were celebrating the sale. There is no sale, I said. Rachel tried to sell my house without permission. She's being arrested for fraud. Brandon looked from Rachel in cuffs to our parents to the officers. I turned to David. I want the listing pulled immediately. I want a fraud alert on title. And I want a restraining order. Already underway, he said. Listing will be removed within the hour. Fraud alert placed, no transactions without your physical presence and 2 IDs. Restraining order filing first thing tomorrow. An officer escorted Rachel to a cruiser. My mother sobbed. My father was on his phone, likely calling a lawyer. A woman in her 60s approached me. Excuse me, are you the real owner? Yes. I was inside. I submitted a $2.5 million all-cash offer this morning. She glanced at the house, then at me. I'm sorry this happened. Your sister told everyone you were elderly, in assisted living, and she held durable power of attorney. She showed paperwork, forged paperwork. If you ever legitimately decide to sell, here's my card. But I completely understand if you want nothing to do with this nightmare. I accepted the card. Thank you, she looked at my family on the lawn. Family isn't the people who share your DNA, it's the people who respect your boundaries. After she walked away, David and I entered the house. The stagers had transformed it. Neutral tones, generic decor, furniture rearranged for photos. All my personal belongings had been boxed and stacked in the garage. They went through everything, I said, opening cabinets. My files, documents, jewelry boxes, all disturbed. David photographed systematically. This strengthens the case. Potential burglary and theft if anything is missing. We spent 2 hours inventorying. 3 sentimental jewelry pieces were gone. Financial files had clearly been photographed, likely hunting for account numbers. That evening, my phone filled with messages from distant relatives. You're tearing the family apart over money. Rachel made a mistake, but you're making it worse. How can you do this to your sister? Not one acknowledged that Rachel had attempted to steal a $2.3 million asset. My cousin Jennifer called instead of texting. I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. For what it's worth, Rachel pulled something similar with Grandma's estate last year, smaller scale, but she claimed authority she didn't have. We didn't press charges because Grandma begged us not to. Maybe we should have. Pattern behavior. Monday morning, the local news covered it. Local real estate agent arrested for fraudulent listing. No names, but in our small coastal town everyone knew. Her brokerage issued a statement terminating her and pledging full cooperation. By Tuesday, 7 buyers had hired counsel. David forwarded demand letters totaling nearly $180,000 in damages. Rachel will owe this, he said, but she likely lacks assets. They'll go after her E&O insurance and she may bankrupt. Wednesday, my parents appeared at my office. My father looked aged overnight. We need to figure out how to fix this. There's nothing to fix, Dad. Rachel committed crimes. She's your sister, we're family. We handle things internally. She forged documents and tried to sell my house. This isn't internal anymore. My mother added, if you drop charges, we'll reimburse any losses. We'll make it right. You can't, and I didn't press charges, the state did. 27 buyers and the title company filed complaints. It's out of my hands. They left silently. Thursday, the restraining order was granted. 500 feet from me, my home, my workplace. At the hearing, Rachel's lawyer called it a family dispute. The prosecutor presented forged power of attorney documents, fake listing authorizations, and buyer statements about the incapacitated owner in a nursing home. The judge was unimpressed. This was calculated fraud involving multiple victims and fabricated legal instruments. Bond, $50,000. My parents posted it. Rachel called immediately after release. I didn't answer. Voicemail, I was only trying to help, you're overreacting. When you calm down, you'll realize I was right. I saved it. David said it could help in civil suits. 6 months later, Rachel pleaded guilty to real estate fraud and identity theft. Sentence: 3 years probation, 500 hours community service, $127,000 restitution to defrauded buyers. Real estate license revoked permanently. She never apologized. My parents covered most of the restitution with a second mortgage. When I learned this, my father called. I hope you're satisfied. You've ruined your own family. I didn't forge documents and list someone else's property, Dad. Rachel did. He hung up. I haven't spoken to any of them since sentencing. Brandon tried mediating briefly but gave up. They think you should have let it go, he said. I don't agree, but that's their stance. I changed every lock, installed a full camera security system, placed fraud alerts on all properties. Any attempted transaction now notifies David and police instantly. Last month, I refinanced the Oceanfront home. Appraised value, $2.8 million. I'm not selling. I'm not cashing out. I'm not sharing with the family. Every morning, I sit on my deck with coffee, watching the waves roll in. The view is unchanged from 8 years ago, but I've changed. I used to believe family meant unconditional loyalty. Now I know family means respecting ownership, honoring boundaries, and not committing felony fraud. Rachel tried to take something I had earned. Instead, she proved its worth. The house is mine, the title is mine, the boundaries are mine, and that's exactly how it will remain. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.